Greek water deities. 17 languages. This article needs additional citations for verification. Please help improve this article by adding citations to reliable sources. Unsourced material may be challenged and removed. Find sources: Greek water deities, News Times, Newspapers Times, Books Times, Scholar Times, Chester, October 2015. Learn how and when to remove this message. The ancient Greeks had numerous water deities. The philosopher Plato once remarked, 1. That the Greek people were like frogs sitting around a pond, their many cities hugging close to the Mediterranean coastline from the Hellenic homeland to Asia Minor, Libya, Sicily, and southern Italy. Thus, they venerated a rich variety of water divinities. The range of Greek water deities of the classical era range from primordial powers and an Olympian on the one hand, to heroized mortals, chthonic nymphs, trickster figures, and monsters on the other. Types, edit. Primordial powers, edit. Oceanus, 2, and Tethys are the father and mother of the gods in the Iliad, while in the 7th century BC the Spartan poet Alcman made them write Thetis, a demige figure. Orpheus's song in Book I of the Argonautica hymns Eurynome, a daughter of Oceanus, as first queen of the gods and as wife of Ophion, first king of the gods. 3. The pre-Socratic cosmogony of Thales, who made water the first element, may be seen as a natural outgrowth of this poetic thinking. The primacy of water gods is reminiscent of, and may even have been influenced by, ancient Near Eastern mythology, where Tiamat, salt water, and Apsu, fresh water, are the first gods of the Enuma Elish, and where the spirit of God is said to have hovered over the waters in Genesis. Pontus is the primordial deity of the sea. Poseidon, edit. Poseidon, 4, as god of the sea, was an important Olympian power. He was the chief patron of Corinth, many cities of Magna Graecia, and also of Plato's legendary Atlantis. He controls the oceans and the seas. 5, and he also created horses. As such, he was intimately connected with the prehistoric office of king, whose chief emblem of power and primary sacrificial animal was the horse. Thus, on the Mycenaean Linear B tablets found at Pylos, the name Poseidon, 6, occurs frequently in connection with the Wonax, king, whose power and wealth were increasingly maritime rather than equestrian in nature. Surprisingly, Poseidon's name is found with greater frequency than that of Zeus, and is commonly linked, often in a secondary role, with Demeter. Poseidon, 7, is a brother of Zeus along with Hades, and his father was Cronus, the leader of the Titans. When the office of Wonax disappeared during the Greek Dark Ages, the link between Poseidon and the kingship was largely, although not entirely, forgotten. In classical Athens, Poseidon was remembered as both the opponent and doublet of Erechtheus, the first king of Athens. Erechtheus was given a hero cult at his tomb under the title Poseidon. Erechtheus. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. In another possible echo of this archaic association, the chief ritual of Atlantis, according to Plato's Critias, was a nocturnal horse sacrifice offered to Poseidon, 8, by the kings of the mythical island power. In keeping with the mythic equation between horsemanship and seamanship, the equestrian heroes Castor and Pallas were invoked by sailors against shipwreck. Ancient Greeks interpreted the phenomenon now called Saint Elmo's fire as the visible presence of the two brothers, old men and nymphs, Edit. Further information, Old Man of the Sea. Several types of water deities conform to a single type, that of Homer's Haliosgeron or Old Man of the Sea, Nereus, Proteus, Glaucus and Phasis. These water deities are not as powerful as Poseidon, the main god of the oceans and seas. Each is a shapeshifter, a prophet, and the father of either radiantly beautiful nymphs or hideous monsters, or both, in the case of Phasis. Nymphs and monsters blur, for Hesiod relates that Phasis was wed to the beautiful cheeked Ceto, whose name is merely the feminine of the monstrous Cetus, to whom Andromeda was due to be sacrificed. Each appearance in myth tends to emphasize a different aspect of the archetype, Proteus and Nereus as shapeshifters and tricksters, Phasis as a father of monsters, Nereus and Glaucus for truth-telling, Nereus for the beauty of his daughters. Each one of these old men is the father or grandfather of many nymphs and / or monsters, who often bear names that are either metaphorical, Thetis, establishment, Telesto, success, or geographical, road from Rhodes, Nilos, Nile. Each cluster of old man and daughters is therefore a kind of pantheon in miniature, each one a different possible configuration of the spiritual, moral and physical world writ small and writ around the sea. The tantalizing figure of the Haliosgeron has been a favorite of scholarship. The old men have been seen as everything from survivals of old Aegean gods who presided over the waves before Poseidon, Kerenii, to embodiments of archaic speculation on the relation of truth to cunning intelligence, deities. Homer's Odyssey contains a haunting description of a cave of the Nereids on Ithaca, close by a harbor sacred to Phasis. The Neoplatonist philosopher Porphyry read this passage as an allegory of the whole universe, and he may not have been far off the mark. Otherworld and Craft, edit. This article possibly contains original research. Please improve it by verifying the claims made and adding inline citations. Statements consisting only of original research should be removed. April 2010. Learn how and when to remove this message. Thus Cape Tanerum, the point at which mainland Greece juts most sharply into the Mediterranean, was at once an important sailor's landmark, a shrine of Poseidon, and the point at which Orpheus and Heracles were said to have entered Hades. This motif is apparent in the paradoxical festivals of the shadowy sea deity Leucothea, white goddess, celebrated in many cities throughout the Greek world. Identifying her with the drowned heroine Ino, worshippers would offer sacrifice while engaged in frenzied mourning. The philosopher Xenophanes, 9, once remarked that if Leucothea were a goddess, one should not lament her. If she were mortal, one should not sacrifice to her. At the same time, man's, always partial, mastery over the dangerous sea was one of the most potent marks of human skill and achievement. This theme is exemplified in the second choral ode of Sophocles' Antigone. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Hide. Wonders are many, and none is more wonderful than man. This power spans the sea, even when it surges white before the gales of the south wind, and makes a path under swells that threaten to engulf him. Lines 332 to 338. Certain water divinities are thus intimately bound up with the practice of human skill. The Telchins, for example, were a class of half-human, half-fish or dolphin water daemons said to have been the first inhabitants of Rhodes. These beings were at once revered for their metalwork and reviled for their death-dealing power of the evil eye. In Aeschylus's Prometheus Bound, the imprisoned craftsman is aided by the daughters of Ocean, and Hephaestus had his forge on sea-girt Lemos. The nexus of sea, otherworld and craft is most strikingly embodied in the Kabiri of Samothrace, who simultaneously oversaw salvation from shipwreck, metalcraft, and mystery rites. Literature, edit. In Homer's heavily maritime Odyssey, Poseidon rather than Zeus is the primary mover of events. Although the sea nymph Thetis appears only at the beginning and end of the Iliad, being absent for much of the middle, she is a surprisingly powerful and nearly omniscient figure when she is present. She is easily able to sway the will of Zeus, and to turn all the forges of Hephaestus to her purposes. Her prophecy of Achilles' fate bespeaks a degree of folk knowledge not available to most other gods in the epic. Art, edit. In classical art, the fish-tailed merman with coiling tail was a popular subject, usually portrayed writhing in the wrestling grasp of Heracles. A similar wrestling scene shows Peleus and Thetis, often accompanied by a host of small animal icons representing her metamorphoses. In Hellenistic art, the theme of the marine theazos or assembly of sea gods became a favorite of sculptors, allowing them to show off their skill in depicting flowing movement and aquiline grace in a way that land-based subjects did not. In Roman times, with the construction of bathhouses throughout the empire, mosaic art achieved primacy in the depiction of water deities. Foremost of these were scenes of the triumph of Poseidon, or Neptune, riding in a chariot drawn by hippocamps and attended by a host of water deities and fish-tailed beasts. Large mosaic scenes also portrayed rows of sea gods and nymphs arranged in a coiling procession of intertwined fish tails. Other scenes show the birth of Aphrodite, often raised in a conch shell by a pair of sea centaurs, and accompanied by fishing erots, winged love gods. It was in this medium that most of the obscure maritime gods of Homer and Hesiod finally received standardized representation and attributes. Genealogy, edit. Greek water deities. Gaia Uranus. Oceanus Tethys. The Potam were the Oceanids. Pontus Thalasar. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Nrias Thaumas Psis Seto Eurybia. The Telchins. Halia Poseidon Aphrodite, 10. Echidna Gorgon Graei Ladon Hesperides Thusa, 11. Helios Rhodos. Sthenodano Helidae Electri 1. Uriel Enio. Medusa, 12. Pemfredo. Sources, edit. 1 Plato, Phaedo 109b. 2 Oceanus. Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, 6th edition, 2015 1. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. 3 Apollonius of Rhodes, Argonautica, 1.495f. 4 Poseidon. Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, 6th edition, 2015 1. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. 5 Heinz Gunther Nesselrath, 2005. Where the Lord of the Sea grants passage to sailors through the deep blue mere no more, the Greeks and the Western Seas. Greece and Rome, 52, pp 153 to 171 to 10.1093/Gromedge/Xi003. 6 Poseidon. Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, 6th edition, 2015 1. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. 7 Poseidon. Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, 6th edition, 2015 1. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. 8 Poseidon. Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, 6th edition, 2015 1. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. 9 Firabend, Paul. Reason, Xenophanes and the Homeric Gods. Kenyon Review 9.4, 1987-12. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. 10 There are two major conflicting stories for Aphrodite's origins. Hesiod, Theogony, claims that she was born from the foam of the sea after Cronus castrated Uranus, thus making her Uranus' daughter, but Homer, Iliad, Book V, has Aphrodite as daughter of Zeus and Dione. According to Plato, Symposium 180e, the two were entirely separate entities, Aphrodite Aurania and Aphrodite Pandemos. 11 Homer, Odyssey, 1.7073, names Theusa as a daughter of Phthis, without specifying a mother. 12 Most sources describe Medusa as the daughter of Phthis and Ceto, though the author Hyginus, Fabulae Preface, makes Medusa the daughter of Gorgon and Ceto. Further reading, edit. Carl Kerenii, The Gods of the Greeks, 5 The Old Ones of the Sea. Marcel Detienne, The Masters of Truth in Archaic Greece. Heinz Gunther Nesselrath, 2005. Where the Lord of the Sea grants passage to sailors through the deep blue. Mere no more, The Greeks and the Western Seas. Greece and Rome, 52. pp 153171-10.1093/Gromedge/Xi003. Poseidon. Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, 6th edition, 2015 1. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. Oceanus. Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia, 6th edition, 2015 1. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. Firabend, Paul. Reason, Xenophanes and the Homeric Gods. Kenyon Review 9.4, 1987-12. Academic search complete. Web. The 22nd of October, 2015. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. External links, edit. Thea Project, Sea Gods. Category, Greek Sea Gods. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF.